They say institutional investors have the upper hand, the power, the influence, the connections. They say limited partners backed by massive institutions run the game, control the deals, shape the future. But listen closely. Something's shifting beneath the surface, a quiet revolution that's about to shake the foundations of what we thought was unbreakable. Private families, those shadow players, the ones who don't appear on every headline, the ones who aren't bound by the usual rules, they're closing the gap. No, they're not just catching up. They're starting to run the race on their own terms. And if you're someone who's been watching this space, someone who's frustrated by the noise, the bureaucracy, the endless compromises, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Because here's the brutal truth nobody's telling you. Institutional LPs are weighed down. They're chasing returns in a world that's evolving faster than their playbooks can adapt. Layers of approval, rigid frameworks, risk committees that fear real risk. These aren't strengths, they're shackles. Meanwhile, private families, they move with lightning speed, guided by intuition sharpened through generations, free from the chokehold of consensus, able to take bets that make others flinch. They're not just preserving wealth, they're creating legacies that institutions can only dream of. What does that mean for you, that relentless founder, that bold investor, that leader daring to rewrite the rules? It means the edge is slipping away from the old guard, and it's yours for the taking, but only if you see beyond the surface noise and tap into what makes private families lethal in this game. Imagine the grind that many of you know all too well, the endless presentations, the vague feedback, the feeling of being trapped in a never-ending cycle of approvals, when all you want is to move forward, to build something real, something meaningful. Institutional LPs often feel like giant ships trying to turn around, slow and steady, but in today's lightning-fast markets, slow can be fatal. They wrestle with inherited mandates, with obligations to so many stakeholders, with risk models crafted for a world that no longer exists. Meanwhile, private families, connected by blood but bound only by vision, operate with surgical precision. No need to justify every move to dozens of committees, no endless meetings to secure buy-in, just pure, raw focus on opportunity and impact. They embody freedom wrapped in responsibility. Freedom to swing for the fences, responsibility to preserve what matters most, balanced perfectly. You know better than anyone how freedom feels when it's stripped away by layers of bureaucracy. It crushes ideas, it kills momentum, it eats away at passion. Private families understand that power isn't about control. It's about trust. Trust in their instincts, their legacy, and their people. This trust lets them make decisions that aren't just about quarterly returns, but about reshaping industries, breaking barriers, and redefining what's possible. They don't just react to markets, they create markets. They don't follow trends, they set them. And here's the thing that hits hardest. This is not about money alone. It's about aligning your capital with your values, your vision with your will, your drive with your destiny. If you feel trapped in a system that rewards mediocrity and punishes audacity, you're not alone. The world has built walls around exceptional individuals, forcing them into boxes, into roles, into scripts they never auditioned for. They call it risk management, but it's really risk avoidance. Risk avoidance dressed up in politeness and compliance. And in that, brilliance suffocates. But the game is changing. Private families are rewriting those rules in real time, creating flexible structures that honor individuality while amplifying collective strength. It's a network built on fierce loyalty, brutal honesty, and untouchable alignment. It's less about capital and more about connection, less about reporting and more about resonance. What can you do if you're watching this shift and want in? First, understand that speed isn't just about making fast decisions. It's about preparing your mind to deal with uncertainty and complexity like the few who operate from the edge, not the center. Discard the assumption that bigger is always better, that more approvals mean better outcomes. Instead, cultivate sovereignty over your capital and your choices. Build relationships that go beyond surface level yeses. Connect with those who burn as you do, who refuse to settle, who see beyond spreadsheets and quarterly reports to the raw potential pulsing beneath the surface. Think of it as weaving a web, not a safety net, but a scaffold. You're not just creating a support system, you're igniting a new ecosystem. Second, reject the idea that risk is your enemy. Real power isn't in avoiding risk, it's in mastering it. Private families are masters of this craft because they know risk isn't a monster to fear, but a force to harness. How? By focusing not just on what could go wrong, but on what could go right. By doubling down on deep knowledge, by integrating wisdom passed down over generations with the agility of new ideas. This duality, the blend of patience and boldness, is the secret weapon that institutions are losing grip on. You can be the person who picks up that weapon, who steps into that space without hesitation, who becomes the disruptor rather than the disrupted. Third, understand that the future belongs to those who break alignment with the noise of the mainstream. Institutional LPs are drowning in the chorus of mainstream consensus, while private families operate in silence, in select circles, in confidential rooms where deals are made before the market even knows there's a market. You don't have to be hidden to be effective, but you do need to be selective about where you place your energy and who you trust. Aligning with the few who match your intensity, your vision, your commitment, that's how you build a movement, not just a network. It's how you turn misaligned brilliance into unstoppable power. Fourth, realize that patience is your greatest ally. This isn't about playing the short game. The world as it is now, it's designed for instant gratification, for quick wins and easy outs. But those don't build legacies. The families who are outpacing institutions aren't frantic. They're disciplined. They think in decades. They hold steady in storms. If you adopt that mindset, you start to see that every no, every delay, every setback is just a step towards something bigger. This patience doesn't mean waiting passively. It means moving with intent, with precision, primed for the right moment to strike. Finally, embrace your role as a breaker of molds. This moment, the slow eclipse of institutional LPs by private families, isn't just a trend, it's a signal. It's a call to arms for those who refuse to accept the status quo, who know that true freedom and true power come from within, not from systems or titles or outdated rules. It's a chance to step into a new kind of leadership that values individuality, bravery, and unflinching honesty. The space is opening for those who dare to own their sovereignty, to ask the hard questions, to redefine what investing and creating really mean. So ask yourself, are you ready to leave behind the safety of the pack and step into the wild, untamed territory where private families thrive? Are you ready to wield your will like a weapon, to question everything, to build alliances only with those who match your fire? Because the era of institutional control is fading fast. And in its place, a new power is rising, rooted in authenticity, forged by patience, driven by rebellion, and destined to reshape the future. The edge isn't just the place where change happens. It's where you find freedom beyond freedom, power beyond power, and life beyond limits. This is the moment to stop waiting for permission, to stop hoping for change, and to start building what matters on your own terms. The question isn't whether institutional LPs are losing their edge. It's whether you'll claim yours before it's gone. The future isn't written, it's made. And it's made by those who burn brighter, move faster, and connect deeper than anyone else. Don't just watch it happen. Be the reason it happens.